Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Today I've got a very special recipe for you. This is something that's associated with a food memory of mine. Many years ago in Mumbai, I went to a restaurant called Spaghetti Kitchen and I ordered a dish on the menu called chicken tetrazzini. I had never eaten this before, but my mind was blown when I tasted it. It was succulent chicken breast on a bed of spaghetti with some red and yellow bell peppers, mushrooms, and the creamiest, cheesiest sauce I had ever eaten. And that was the first and last time that I ever got to eat that dish because it went off the menu and then the restaurant itself disappeared. So I looked online for many versions of chicken tetrazzini, but nothing ever came close. In fact, what I think is considered the authentic chicken tetrazzini is cooked very differently and seems more like a basic casserole dish. So today I'm going to be making a keto chicken tetrazzini from that food memory of mine. I'm going to give this dish the Headbangers Kitchen twist. Anyway, enough jibber jabber from me, let's get cooking. So the first thing I'm going to do is take 2 full chicken legs with skin and put it in a pot of boiling water for about 30 seconds. What we're going to be doing is air drying the chicken for a day so that we get the crispiest skin possible. Anyway, after 30 seconds, remove the chicken legs with a slotted spoon and plunge them into a bowl with ice water. The idea here is to stop the cooking process. Anyway, remove it from the ice water and then place it on a wire rack which you can put on a plate or something to stop it dripping, and put that in your fridge and leave it for 24 hours. This is basically going to help the skin to dry out, and when we cook it, it's going to be super crispy. Anyway, after 24 hours, your chicken should be ready for cooking, and just leave it outside on the counter for about 20 to 30 minutes till it comes to room temperature. Once your chicken is at room temperature, it's time to season it, and we're first going to give it a little dousing in olive oil and then just massage that olive oil into the chicken. This will also help the seasoning stick onto the chicken, and of course we're going to season it with some salt. Make sure you're generous with the salt. Some white pepper, you can also use black pepper if you don't have white pepper, and some nutmeg powder. This is also optional, but it definitely helps enhance the flavor of the chicken. Anyway, make sure you season it on both sides, that's the skin side and the opposite side, and make sure that you season it nice and good, or just season it nicely, or season it good. I don't know why I said nice and good. Anyway, let's cook it. So to cook the chicken, we're going to get a pan on the stove and heat up about a teaspoon of olive oil. You don't need a lot of olive oil, just a little bit. You can also do this in your cast iron pan, though I prefer using a non-stick. Then in go the chicken legs, skin side down. You want to make sure that you put them skin side down and just let it cook skin side down for about 7 to 8 minutes. I know you might be tempted to touch the legs and move them around and do things, but just leave them as they are. Of course, you want to make sure nothing burns, so you can periodically check the chicken legs to make sure that they are cooking and the skin is getting nice and brown and crispy. Also, a little trick to get the side of the drumstick, because that doesn't hit the pan, is you can sort of tilt the pan and then just sort of use the pan and the angle to sort of cook the side of the leg. Of course, if you've got a lot of oil in the pan, be careful, you don't want anything to catch on fire. Anyway, like I said, check on that chicken. Since I'm using a non-stick, it's pretty easy to just lift the legs and see if they've got the right amount of color. I want a slightly darker color, so I'm going to give it a minute or 2 more. Anyway, once your chicken skin is nice and golden brown and crispy, turn it over. And those legs look beautiful already. Oh yeah! Now I'm going to throw in about a tablespoon of butter into the pan, and that's going to start to melt. And I'm also going to throw in a couple of sage leaves. If you don't have fresh sage leaves, you can use dried sage leaves as well, no problem. Anyway, put the sage leaves in the butter and let them almost like fry in the butter and flavor that butter with sage. So it's basically a sage butter. And then you want to take a spoon and you want to baste the chicken legs in that delicious sage butter. Take a spoon, get some of that butter and pour it over the legs. Oh yeah, you're gonna get that flavor of the butter in the chicken skin as well. Anyway, once you've done that, it's time to take the legs out of the frying pan and get them into our baking tray on a wire rack. And then these legs go into our oven, which is going to be preheated at about 200 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 20 minutes till they are fully cooked through and golden brown. Well, they're just going to be brown. I don't know. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, put them in. Now I'm going to make the spaghetti component of our dish, and I'm going to be using a zucchini for this and my trusty hand spiralizer. This is really cheap and you can get it on Amazon for like $10 or something. I'll leave a link to purchase it in the video description box or on my website. And if you don't have access to zucchini, you can also use those miracle noodles or cognac noodles or even my meat noodles. It's completely up to you. Any low carb noodle will do. Now in the same pan in which we cooked the chicken legs, we're going to add in 200 grams of regular white mushrooms. And I'm also going to add in about 50 to 60 grams of sliced onions. And then of course, you want to give it all a good mix. Basically what we're going to do is fry off the onions and the mushrooms. And of course, don't forget to season it as well with some salt and some black pepper. Once again, you can use white pepper instead, no problem. Anyway, give that all a good mix. Now you just want to let these cook, and it's going to take about 4 minutes or so for the mushrooms to release their water. And then of course you want the water to dry up, and then you're going to see the mushrooms start to caramelize as well as the onions. Make sure that you're stirring everything, giving it all a good mix. And once that's starting to happen, I'm going to add in another knob of butter. Then in goes some roughly chopped garlic, about 10 grams. And once again, my friends, you know what to do. Give it all a good mix. Now once you start to get some color on the garlic as well, you're going to add in some yellow bell peppers and some red bell peppers as well. And give it all a good, come on, let me hear you say it. Give it all a good, I can't hear you, gotta be louder. Give it all a good mix. Alright, once that's done, it's time to add in some red chili flakes and some fresh oregano. And once again, my friends, give it all a good mix. Now I don't like spicy food, but the chili flakes aren't really spicy and they kind of balance out the sweetness of the bell peppers. After about a minute or two of cooking, I'm going to pour in about 250 ml of chicken stock. You can use vegetable stock or you can even just use water. Now since my stock is salted, I'm not going to be adding any extra salt, but if your stock has no salt in it, please add some salt at this point. And then you're just going to let this bubble away on a high heat till the liquid reduces down to half. Now once the liquid has reduced and everything is tasting good, we're going to grate in about 30 grams of cheddar cheese. I'm using a lovely mature cheddar that I picked up from the United Kingdom on my recent visit, but you can use any cheese that you like. Gouda, Monterey Jack, anything, cream cheese even, no problem, it's up to you. Mascarpone is not a bad idea either. Once that's done, I'm going to add in heavy whipping cream. And my friends, you know what to do. We are going to give it all a good mix, and then we're just going to cook everything down till it's the consistency you desire. Now folks, if you want to thicken the sauce, you can use something called xanthan gum, but since I'm not such a big fan of it, I prefer to just reduce the sauce on the stove till it gets nice and thick so that it can coat our zucchini pasta. Now once the sauce has cooked down and it's as thick as you like it, I'm going to finish it off with some fresh parsley and give it all another good mix. And then once that is done, I'm going to turn off the stove and I'm going to put in our zucchini spaghetti and then mix everything very well. And the reason I choose to put the heat off is because I want the zucchini to have a sort of bite to it, which is why I don't want to overcook it. In fact, I don't want to cook it at all. I just want it to get nice and warm and coated well in that sauce. Anyway, once you've done that, our zucchini pasta with the creamy cheesy sauce is pretty much ready. And at the same time, guess what? Our chicken is ready and out of the oven as well. And oh ho ho ho, that looks so good. That chicken looks beautifully crispy and golden brown. Anyway, my friends, our chicken tetrazzini is ready, and just serve it in a plate, put that spaghetti on and have the chicken piece on top of it, and it's done. Alright folks, so it's time to taste the chicken tetrazzini, and I'm excited. I mean, this recipe I'm really excited about. Anyway, let me get a mushroom, let me get some of that zucchini spaghetti, some of that sauce, all of it. Oh man. Wow, the chicken is outstanding. I mean, that skin is crispy, like it is incredibly crispy. The chicken is moist, the sauce is delicious, rich and creamy, and I mean, it's perfect. The zucchini has a bit of bite to it. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you guys. This is awesome. I'm super stoked with how this recipe has turned out. I hope you guys are going to make this at home and enjoy it the way I'm enjoying it right now. Anyway, enough jibber jabber from me. I'm going to go and eat, and I will see you on the next episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Cheers and keep cooking. Oh yeah, straight from the bone. Oh dude. Hey folks, if you like this recipe, give the video the thumbs up and subscribe to Headbangers Kitchen. Also, if you like the show, you can buy a Headbangers Kitchen t-shirt. Links to order them are in the video description box, which is just below this video. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. See you soon.